Small talk. For some people, it's super easy, but for others, it can be a real challenge. But hey, it's such a huge part of our daily lives, right? So in this explainer, we're going to break down the art of these quick, casual chats so you can feel totally confident handling them.
Have you ever been there? That awkward silence where you're just scrambling for anything to say? Yeah, we've all been there, but what if I told you there's a toolkit, a set of phrases that can make these moments feel totally smooth and natural? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to look at a real-life conversation and pull out the key skills you need.
All right, so for our little case study, we're going to use a situation that pretty much all of us have been in, a simple taxi ride. I mean, it's the perfect place to see small talk happen in the wild, right? You get to see the tricky parts, but also the real chances to make a quick connection.
Okay, let's dive right into the actual conversation from this taxi ride. We're going to zero in on 4 key phrases that really make the whole thing feel polite, balanced, and, just engaging. And let me tell you, this first one is pretty bold.
So the driver kicks things off with a pretty bold observation. I mean, if he just said it straight up, it could sound a little blunt, but he tacks on this super important little phrase at the end that totally changes the tone.
You see, that phrase acts like a social cushion, a buffer. When he says, "if you don't mind me saying so," he's basically showing, hey, I know this might be a little sensitive. It's like a polite little apology before he even says the potentially blunt thing. Okay, so a little later in the ride, the driver gets curious and wants to ask something a bit more personal. And look at what he does again. He starts with another apology. He knows he's kind of stepping over a line, so he puts up the little flag first. So what does nosy even mean? Well, it's when you're a little too curious about someone's private business. So using this phrase is a super polite way of saying, look, I know this is none of my business, but I'm going to ask anyway. And what's great is that it gives the other person an easy out. They can choose not to answer, and it's not awkward.
Right, so the passenger calls him out a little bit, saying, it can be rude to ask a woman her age. And the driver's response is immediate. He uses this next phrase to make his intention crystal clear. He's not trying to be rude at all. He's actually trying to give her a compliment.
And this one, don't get me wrong, is such a useful tool for stopping a misunderstanding before it even starts. You say it right after you've said something that you realize could be taken the wrong way. It lets you jump in and say, wait, that's not what I meant. Here's my real positive intention.
So after she answers his question, the passenger does something really smart to keep the ball rolling. She doesn't just let the conversation die. Nope, she flips the question right back to him. This is a total classic small talk move. Now you might think the correct way to say this is, what about you? And yeah, grammatically that works. But honestly, in everyday English, especially in the US, you'll hear what about yourself all the time. Using it actually makes you sound way more natural, more like a native speaker. It's the perfect way to make sure the conversation is a two-way street, not an interview.
Okay, but here's the thing. Great small talk isn't just about knowing what to say. It's also about knowing what not to say. It's about understanding those invisible cultural lines, knowing what topics are safe and which ones you should probably steer clear of, especially with someone you've just met.
Seriously, knowing what to avoid is just as crucial as having a good opening line. A topic that's totally fine in one culture might be seen as really rude or way too personal in another. It's a tricky thing.
So, for example, in a lot of English-speaking cultures, you'll want to stay away from these topics at first. Jumping in with questions about someone's age, how much money they make, or their marital status, well, it can make things pretty uncomfortable. The smart move is to stick to safer topics. Things like work, hobbies, travel, even the weather, until you've built up a little bit of a connection.
All right, let's wrap this up and put it all together. We've picked apart this conversation, and now we can build a simple, super practical toolkit with these phrases, something you can literally start using in your next conversation. So think of this table as your small talk starter pack. You've got 2 phrases for when you need to be careful with a sensitive topic. You've got one for damage control to clear up a misunderstanding. And you've got one to make sure you're having a real conversation, not a one-sided interview. It's a great little set of tools. And really, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Don't be afraid to mess up. Small talk is a skill. It's not a test you have to ace. It's all about practice. Every single chat you have, even a quick one in a taxi, is a new chance to get a little bit better.
So that leaves us with one final question to think about. We've been talking about what works in English, but every culture has its own unique ways to start a friendly chat, right? So what's the go-to conversation starter where you're from? Thinking about that can give you a really cool perspective on how these unwritten social rules work all over the world.